Hi everyone, Plastic EP here from Melbourne, Australia. I've got a very special guest, Paul Decoster from Brooklyn, New York.
How you
How are
doing?
you today, Paul?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight? You look great.
I know, and the reason why I got you on the show is I want to tell everybody that you're such a fantastic musician. I listened to your songs last night, and I'll tell you what, I love them. They're
Thank you
just
so much.
that great.
Thank
And
you.
the way you sing, it's like a bird. I got to tell you.
Wow. That's kind
Now,
of
I want you
cool.
to tell me a little bit about yourself, how you started in music. Give me a bit of background information for everyone out there.
Sure. Well, I started studying classical guitar a long time ago, but deep inside my heart, I always was kind of a rock and roll guy. So while here I was studying all these pieces and just secretly writing these little songs and whatnot. And sure enough, once I got a master's in classical guitar, I said, I think I just would rather be a songwriter. So I just started playing in clubs and whatnot. I played in bands and trained over the years and worked with some really good songwriters locally. And as a result, I just came up with a bunch of songs, and I've got 3 albums right now. So
That's fantastic. Now,
Mhm.
just tell me, what's the name of the first album?
The name of the first album is called Calling All Lovers. And that reveals a lot of songs about somebody who's conflicted in a relationship, but it actually has a couple of bright points too. And that's a real rock and roll album. I mean,
That's what I like.
yeah.
That's what I really love. I'm going to let you play your favorite song on it. And let me tell you, I'm a real rock and roller. So
Oh,
the
yeah.
more rocky it is, the better. So
Mhm.
let's hear it, Paul. What's the name of it again, the song you're going to play?
The song from Calling All Lovers is called True Believer. And this is to all those that are looking for a way looking to get a boost in life, who kind of have had a little bit of a
That's, you know what I like, Paul? That's real deep. I like it. Let's hear it.
Okay, here we go. This is True Believer. So the music that you hear in your head is coming out of you like a symphony. You've always had something to say, but now you say it with no anxiety. People say what's come over you, the ones who used to look at you and roll their eyes. But you can see from their effortless smiles, your spirit's got more power than you realize. You're beginning to sound like a true believer. You're beginning to sound like a true believer. And you want to know what? You're beautiful. So you're moving slow imagination. It's finally gonna deal with the real world. Cast your heart in the part of the hero, and don't you worry if you can't get the girl. You've always had something to say, but you counted on people to agree with you. Their rejection caused your breakdown, but opened up the space for light to shine on through. You're beginning to sound like a true believer. You're beginning to sound like a true believer. And you wanna know what? You're beautiful. Doesn't it feel great to have a home you can take with you wherever you go? Doesn't it feel great to be praised when you're out there putting on a show? every form. 'Cause now you maintain a sanctuary where love has a space to keep so warm. Love and desire and rhythm combine in exactly the way you always wanted them to. Singing praises to God is like sex, except the energy is forever removed. You're beginning to sound like a true believer. You're beginning to sound like a true believer. You're beginning to sound like a true believer. Oh, yeah. You're beginning to sound like a true believer. Ooh, you're beginning to sound like a true believer. And you wanna know what? Yeah, you wanna know what? Yeah, you wanna know what? You're beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was fantastic, Paul. I'm sure you'll break a few hearts out there. I got to tell you, that's an intricate, complicated song. That's not as easy as it seems, I know. That's not a simple song, just so you know.
I like to write as a guitar player. You know what I mean? I like to write, kind of make the songs interesting sonically so that when somebody's listening to it, they go, oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? So it's like fun to listen to. And I also want to write songs that people can just sing off the top of their head when they're walking down the street. That to me is the sign of a good song. You know, that's my
very catchy choruses. Now I want to ask you, what's been the biggest influences musically in your life? Who?
I think what I would like to say is there's been a couple of bands that have really kind of made their mark on me. And there's countless others, because I mean, I've really kind of absorbed a lot of music like a sponge, even ones I might not necessarily be ensconced in. But XTC and Rush are probably the biggest influences I've ever had. That, and I could possibly say Hall & Oates. I could definitely say them. I could say Lionel Richie. I could say the Spinners. You know, I mean, I basically grew up listening to disco and rock simultaneously. And they're all pretty much like, they come from the same source. And, you know, I grew up listening to them both and liking them both. And they struck me in very, very different ways. And that's what I liked about them. But those two bands that I just cited are the ones. XTC got me interested in writing lyrics because I like what Andrew Partridge wrote. I also like what Colin Moulding wrote too. Rush got me interested in kind of band antics and things of that nature. You know, I have to say. I'm also a big Joe Walsh fan too. I think he's terrific. I like a lot of his solo work. It's underrated.
I got to say, I'm a big disco fan, believe it or not. Like every day, without fail, I play Sister Sledge. We Are Family.
That one
song is so great that I can't go through a day without just playing that song. It's just like, to me, it's the greatest.
But, you know, I'd also like to listen to a lot of contemporary stuff too. Like I think there's a lady who comes out of Oakland, California called Her, H-E-R, and she's a great R&B singer. I like a lot of the stuff that she does. I also like American authors. I like Atlas Genius. I like some of Maroon 5. I like some of their stuff. I think they're really good. And and I guess some of John Legend as well. I like a lot of the stuff that he comes out with, you know, really good quality crafted songs, you know.
Any of the 60s pop groups influenced you?
60s pop groups, the Hollies, definitely the Hollies when Graham Nash was in it. I would probably say I do like the Monkees.
That's
I
good.
do like the Beatles. You know, they pretty much set the standard. But I also like groups like the Yardbirds. I like a lot of what they did. You know, I like the Four Tops. I think they came up with some really great songs. You know, again, I'm straddling the fence between Motown and rock. You know, I like the Temptations, and I like a lot of the Stax recordings. They were just amazing stuff. I got to meet Steve Cropper, the guitar player from Booker T and the MGs, one time on a gig. It was great. He was very gracious and everything. And I also got to meet, I think his name was Eddie Floyd. He sang a hit called Knock on Wood, which was a big hit with the Stax recording. And I got my picture with him, So,
That's massive.
oh,
Paul, can you tell me now about your second album and how long that took and what that album is about and what's it called?
it's called Walking in the Sun. At the time when I recorded it, I was leaving a really tumultuous relationship, which started off great, but after about 11 years, it was very much, I was dealing with somebody who was not entirely mentally stable. And it's rather painful to watch. And as much as I loved her, I needed to move on. I couldn't help her anymore. So I wrote Walking in the Sun as a way to it was kind of like a liberation for me. And it was all about just also about how I met my wife, currently Raquel Roseri, and I met her at an open mic, believe it or not. And I think a song came out of that, believe it or not, called Got the Music in Me. So there's a lot of really good stuff I could play on that album. So
what song will you play from that now?
You know what? I could do I do Got the Music in Me. This is dedicated to my wife, Raquel Roseri, whom I met at an open mic. And this is a song about that very experience. I used to sing in the shower in a drunken haze. I don't remember half of what I did in those days. All I know is I met you one night in a cafe by candlelight. It was an open mic and we both came to play. You said you liked to sing, but that night you weren't sure how you do with the spotlight and your people couldn't door. At least you can make it through. I went to sign up as I normally do. You asked me when are you gonna sing, I said right after you. I got the music in me, so do you. Harmony, melody, rhythm too. I got the music in me, so do you. And ain't no better way to fall in love. I've seen you before in a supermarket checkout line. And from that moment on, I plotted to make you mine. Ooh, I couldn't help but stare as you pretended that I wasn't there. But with a song in my heart, I had something to prove. I got the music in me, so do you. Harmony, melody, rhythm too. I got the music in me, so do you. And ain't no better way to fall in love. We didn't know what to expect. We thought we'd be stoned to reject. But I could hear my heart go bang from the very first note you sang. And when you said the same thing about me, well, I knew right then we were gonna make history. Well, I admit when we first got together, it seemed too soon. Thank God we let the music in us call that tune. I got the music in me, so do you. Harmony, melody, and rhythm too. I got the music in me, so do you. Harmony, melody, and rhythm too. I got the music in me, so do you. harmony, a melody, a rhythm too. I got the music in me, so do you. Yeah, you. I got the music in me, so do you. Ain't no better way to fall in love.
Fantastic. I enjoyed that one too.
Thank you
Now, I
very
got
much.
to ask you, Paul,
Uh-huh.
what sort of hobbies do you do when you're not playing music on the
No.
guitar? And what sort of music do you listen to at home?
Well, I tell you what, when I'm not playing music, I like to exercise a lot. I really think it keeps me in great shape and gives me a lot of energy. I like to read a lot. I like to read about current events. I like to read about religious history, believe it or not. And I also like to read about science and space. I love that stuff. I mean, my third album is called Universe, so that's about how much I love it. And when I'm at home listening to music, I try to listen to classic music. One guy that I really find very inspirational too, I've already named Russian XTC, but I like Nick Lowe, the founder of the pub rock scene back in the 70s. And I also like Elvis Costello, who also came out of that role. And I also like, God, what was it? I blanked on the name, if you can believe it. I just completely.
Do you like the group Madness?
Of course I like Madness. You kidding me? I think they're awesome. Every time I watch the videos, I just say, Jesus, these guys had so much wit and imagination. I tell you, believe it or not, there's an artist called Billy Ocean. He was like a guy, I think he was from Jamaica originally. And he was like a big top 40 R&B star. And every time I hear his stuff, I get really excited. You know what I mean? I really enjoy his work.
Have you heard of the Specials?
Of course. The Specials, Gangsters, A Message to You, Rudy. I love that.
That's right.
I really like that period of music. I mean, that's pretty much the music I grew up on. That kind of like made an indelible mark on me, without a doubt. I'm a David Bowie fan. I like I think I like some of Echo and the Bunnymen. I like Oingo Boingo, things like that. That period of music. And for the 90s, I like Smash Mouth, believe it or not. I kind of think they're a lot of fun.
What about the one I'm Walking on Sunshine?
Oh, Katrina and the Waves. Oh my God.
Bravo. I wanted to test you there. Well done. Now listen.
Well, I'll tell you, I was a big Pretenders fan too.
That's great. I'm glad you mentioned them.
Because
Brass in Pocket.
What's that?
Brass in Pocket.
Well, not just that, but they also had Kid. They also had what was the name of that song? Mystery Achievements, things like that. Talk of the Town, which is a beautiful song. It's very English, but that's okay. I get used to it. And I just love the way she sings, and I love the way she expressed herself. And I really, as far as guitar players are concerned, I'm a big fan of James Honeyman Scott, who left this world way too soon. But I love his guitar playing. He's just he's like somebody who can bring out a very lyrical, very simple lead, but also it's very, very lyrical, and it just soars. You know what I'm saying? His solo on Kid is amazing. I'm a big Mark Knopfler fan too. So as you can see, it's a cavalcade. As far
Paul, I got to ask you now.
Yeah.
This third album, Universe, how long did it take to fully record that album?
It took at least about a year and a half. I mean, I was working very, very closely with my percussionist, Rich Kulsar, who's a terrific drummer, and he's based in Long Island City, Queens, with his wife, Denise Barbarita. They have a studio called Mona Lisa Studios, and I've recorded with them at least on 2 of the albums that I've done. I've worked with them as both producers, and also they engineered it as well. And this was an entirely acoustic album, which consisted of the title track, Universe, and also just had a lot of other bangers that he and I compiled together, and he really is just, we played as a duo one time for a concert, and this one guy who did sound for us goes, "You guys don't need a bass player. You sound really good, just the 2 of you." So I thought that was a really good compliment,
That's great. So what track are we doing off the third album?
You know what? Why don't we do the title track? Because, that's kind of sends a message about universality and how it's important to kind of see beyond the world that we're in. So and I took it from the concept of Apollo 13, but not necessarily what the movie was about per se, but just about the concept of astronauts being in space. I mean, we can only imagine what it's like out in space, right? But, so this is called Universe. Another astronaut floating above the world is being swallowed all by my own two eyes. While all possible horizons appear condensed, the planet's bigger than I realized. Up here, trying to look way down, floating around, looking for my hometown. Through the clouds, dust, gas, it can't be found. Open your eyes, how much can you see? The universe is bigger than a country, how much can you see? If they cut my line, I'll be drifting as far as forever. Like a baby, float on helplessly, trying to put my feet where I think they ought to be. Now the world is a stepping stone to the transcendental state of being all alone. Up here, looking for my lost love, as if I could see it from this far above. She could be from anywhere down there, as long as she's imaginary. How much can you see? The universe is bigger than a country, how much can you see? If they cut my line, I'll be drifting as far as forever. Big hearts, big dreams that overshadow workers in silent streets. And I don't know what Einstein means. It took me all these years in the academy and the military just to get to the place where he was the moment he was born. Up here, trying to look way down, floating around, looking for my hometown. Through the clouds, dust, gas, it can't be found. Open your eyes, how much can you see? Yeah, the universe is bigger than a country, how much can you see? If they cut my line, I'll be drifting as far. Cut my line, I'll be drifting as far. Cut my line, I'll be drifting as far as forever.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
You know what I like there? The guitar playing is very intricate.
Thank you.
How much can you see is the big hook of the song that really stood out.
Yeah,
That just blew me away.
matter of fact, Nate, I've been
Yeah.
using the hashtag,
Fantastic. Now, Paul, I want you to tell me where everyone can find you on the net or on YouTube and how they can like whatever you've done. So go through all that with me.
You got it. Okay, well, the first place you can go to is decostermusic.com. That's going to give you videos. It's going to give you some songs. It's going to give you some dates and things of that nature. I also recommend that you guys go to my YouTube channel, which is YouTube/Paul Decoster, because that's got all the latest ones. It's got a couple of latest videos, two of which has been directed by my friend Jürgen at Concept VR in Long Island City, Jürgen Gears, and also Michael Ellenbogen has done some editing on that as well. He's
A big hello to Michael.
Big shout out to Michael Ellenbogen for the great work that he's done in those two videos. He did a video for Lend a Hand, and he also did a video for Can't Stop Thinking About, which is another song off of the Universe CD. Also, if you want to check out my Instagram, I'm at TigermanPCD. If you want to check out my Facebook, you can reach me at on the Decoster page, all caps, as you see below. And that's No Messing with Spirit. In fact, as a matter of fact, tomorrow night I'm going to go live on Facebook at about 5 p.m. And you're going to hear some old songs. You're going to hear some new songs. And I've written some songs since the quarantine happened, and some of them are really upbeat. Some of them are kind of like reflective, and I'm just very excited. So, and I'm working hard to just put out some new material every day.
And Paul, I got to ask you now, to find your songs, you're on iTunes. Tell me where you are, where they can hear all your songs.
You can hear all of my songs on iTunes. You just look up Decoster, all caps. All of my material is going to be there. The first 3 albums, Calling All Lovers, Walking in the Sun, and Universe, the latest one, are all there. So if you want to check out the music, you can go on Spotify. You'll find it. You can go on iTunes. It's all there. So enjoy, everybody, and I really hope to hear from you. I really hope that you guys indulge and enjoy it, man, and enjoy life, man. You know, you only got one, right?
That's it, Paul. From Plastic EP and Paul Decoster, just play a couple of notes. Take us out with one verse. I can't thank you enough, Paul. It was great. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
See ya.
See you around, man.
See ya, America.
See you, Australia.